Welcome back. This is Charlene with Hooked by Charlene. This is the last tutorial video for my rectangle upcycle bag. This is where we left off on the last video, was the bottom portion, and then this is where we are now with the bag that I had started before. And what we're going to do today is put a yarn handle on the top. We're going to start off by making two of these about 6 inches, and then these are going to loop through this here and attach to the bag on the side, and then there will be a yarn handle that goes on here. So what we're going to do first is make another one of these, and then we can work on the yarn handle. So how I'm going to start that off is with my plastic yarn, also known as Plarn, that matches this bag here, and my 6.5 millimeter crochet hook. I'm just going to make a loop here by crossing this over. I just take this and twist it, and then I pull a loop up through that loop and tighten that up. And I'm going to crochet 6 chains. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it looks like that. And then I'm going to start single crochet in the second chain from the loop, and then single crochet 4 across. And then I'm just going to keep going up until I have about 6 inches so that we can secure our yarn strap to our bag. And there's number 5. So now I'm just going to make 1 chain and crochet across again, 5 single crochets across, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Oh, that one doesn't want to go quite the way I want it to. Okay, there's 5, and then we'll chain 1, and you'll see this is a little bit of a one that got tied up together, so I'm just going to hide it in my other ones by going through my next stitch and then just crocheting right over it. So we'll go into the next stitch and just continue on like you normally would. All right. And this last one's always a little bit tricky. Oh, there we go. Okay. And chain 1, and we'll go across one more time. And then I'll pause and finish this out so that you can see it finished. What we're looking for is just about 6 inches. I'll match it to the size of the other one so that on both sides it'll be the same length. So it's going to get crocheted around this. This is the length that I have here, and we're just going to match it to this length, which is, as you can see, about 6 inches. So I'm going to pause here so that you can see that part when it's finished, and then we'll move on. Okay, welcome back. I am on my final final row here on this piece, and then we're going to move on to our yarn strap so that I can show you how to do that. Just putting a couple more stitches on here. This is again about 6 inches long, and it's going to be used to attach our yarn strap to our bag. All right, and I'll just show you how to finish this off. I do leave these little tails on here where I would normally like to crochet over them and kind of have them woven in. I'm going to use those to attach that to the bag a little bit later. So I do like to leave those on here. I'm going to detach it from this this ball because I may or may not need to add some length or something like that. So I just take it right off of the ball that I'm using so that I can save the ball and still have the yarn tail, as they call it, attached so that I can use that to attach later. So I'm just going to pull this all the way through the loop to secure it, and we'll leave that on there just like that. So we have these two that we'll use a little bit later. What we're going to work on now is a yarn strap, and this is the one that I'm going to be using on another bag, but we'll use it as kind of a guide for our current one. This will be together with the little metal loops here. This will be about 23 inches long. I've found that that's a really good length and a really good strength. I'm using, for this one, I'm going to be using 3 different yarns. You can use the same color if you want to use 3 strands, or if you want to use a bulky weight yarn, that also works really well. I just think that the 3 colors is kind of fun. And I also like to use up some scrap yarn that is from other projects that I might not be using, and use that up so that it's not just laying around not doing anything, and it has a purpose as well. So it's kind of an extra upcycle for me. Some of this yarn was actually given to me by others that had scrap yarn and didn't know what to do with it. So I've chosen these 3 colors because I thought they were kind of a fun springtime color to add to this bag. So what I'm going to do, starting this off, is just I'm going to leave a little tail again. I'm going to crochet that in so that it's secured and isn't going to be showing or anything, but we're kind of going to need it a little bit here to get started. So again, I'm just going to cross that over, and then I'm going to put my hook through here and grab all 3 strands and pull that through to make my loop, and that's going to be my first loop. So the first part here is just a little bit tricky because you're going to be crocheting around this to start your strap. And what we're going to do is hold the yarn, and it's going to be just like we're crocheting around the yarn. So I'm going to go through right here, and I'm going to grab all 3 strands and bring it up and over, and then I'm going to pull this through the loop that's on the metal loop, and also through the loop that we started in the beginning. So again, we're going to go through the middle of this, grab these and pull it around, and then we're going to put another loop on the hook and pull it through both of these here. And this is still just a single crochet that's going around something. So when you see like kitchen towel holders, or sometimes people make will make wreaths or something like that, and they're just crocheting right around something. So there will be the stitches right on top of this. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to do 1 more, and then we're going to just start crocheting as we normally would. We don't have to go around again or anything like that. So I have 5 single crochets here, and then I'm just going to chain 1 like I always do, and then turn it around, and we'll start crocheting single crochets right back into here. I'm going to use a yarn needle to take this back through and secure it there. a little bit later. We'll do that to finish at the end. So I'm just going to be single crocheting across 5 single crochets. And we're on number 4. Oh, make sure we get all 3 of the yarn strands when we're doing this. Okay. And now we're going to chain 1 and go back the other way. So with this, you could do 6 across if you wanted to, just make it a little bit longer or a little bit more wide of a yarn strap. I have found that I really just like the look of 5. Probably wouldn't want to go less than 4, just so that you have the strength that you need of your shoulder strap. It also gets a little bit stretchy, so you're definitely going to want that strength depending on what you put in your bag. For me, I don't carry a lot of weight in my bag. For a bag of this size, I wouldn't. But if someone else is going to be carrying a bunch of books or have anything else that they carry around that's a little bit heavier, they might want a wider strap. I really like the yarn strap on these. It's a little bit more comfortable than doing the plastic bag straps. The bag that I carry most often actually does have a plastic bag strap, and I do like that one a lot. But for a bag like this, that one's a little bit bigger. For a bag like this, I think the yarn strap will be really nice, and it gives you a little bit more opportunity to play with colors and to use up yarn scraps if you have them. So I have a couple. I think that's turning out really pretty. I think this is a really nice spring color for this one. I'm really excited about it. So I'm going to go ahead and pause and get a little bit further on this, and then I'll show you where I'm at. Okay, so as you can see, I'm about halfway through with this yarn strap here. As I mentioned earlier, it's going to finish out at about 23 inches. However, because these are 1 inch, we're going to stop when this is about 22 inches, and then it's going to be 23 inches total. So this one, from end to end with the rings, is about 23 inches. So we've got a little bit of length to put on here still. I also wanted to mention that these are a 2x1 inch purse or belt loop or belt ring. I just got them on Amazon. There's a pack of 12, so you can make 6 straps for about $10 on Amazon. You can get them in all sorts of different sizes. I just seem to really like this size the best for these bags. I don't think that I would go smaller just based on what I have seen people use these bags for. But if you're making a yarn bag or a purse, something like that, you can obviously go smaller. And there's different shapes like D-rings, and some of them are ovals or circles. I just find that I really like the rectangles a lot. So what I'm going to do right now is just tuck this in with my yarn needle. It's just like a tapestry needle. If you don't know what a yarn needle is, I'm going to trim a little bit of this off here so that these are all the same length. And then I like to kind of twist them so that they're kind of staying together a little bit and put them through the little hole there. Hopefully they all go through. That the white one didn't quite want to go through there with me. Okay, and then you can keep them twisted or not. It doesn't really matter. So now I'm just going to push this through here. What I usually like to do is put it through a little bit here, and then I'll actually skip up one and put it through the next spot here. so that it can kind of be a little bit more secure. I'm going to pull that through. Oh, and it pulled out, which is fine, but I think I'm going to twist it back through so that I can actually go the other direction. I like to, when I'm weaving these ends in, I like to go 2 directions. So it's a little bit short, but I'm gonna make it work and push it back through the opposite direction. And then whatever comes through the end, I'll just cut off the rest. All right, there we go. And I'll trim the rest off right there like that. And it's all secure and nothing's popping out. Okay, so again, we're about halfway through. I'm going to measure this out so that it will be ending up at about 22 inches. And then I will show you how to secure the other end. And I'll be right back. Okay, you can see that now my strap here is measuring at about 22 inches. And we are ready to put it onto this ring here. So I ended this with my single crochet, and I want to chain 1 and turn. And then I'm just going to hold this kind of at the back and single crochet like I normally would for my next row. Just making sure that I go right around that ring. So there's 1 single crochet, and then there's the second one. Show you a little bit closer. And then here's my third one. And number 4. And number 5. Okay, so now that those are complete, I am going to chain 1 and then pull my hook out. And then I'm going to take a long tail on this side. And that long tail I'm going to actually use to do something a little bit different, because I don't really like the raised way that this is on this side, because it kind of, when you have this over here, you can kind of see that it impedes into this a little bit, and I don't really like the look of that. So I'm going to pull this yarn all the way through here, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my yarn needle and I'm going to make it so that it's more like this, so that it doesn't have quite as much into there and it looks a little bit cleaner. So once again, we're going to put all 3 of these yarn strands through the eye of 1 little needle. I'm going to trim them all off so that they're the same length, and then twist this a little bit so that I can get all 3 of them into the eye of that tapestry or yarn needle. Okay, so we'll pull that through there. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to fold this over just like that. And I'm going to start weaving through here so that I can kind of sew that in, so that we can make this look a little bit cleaner on this side. And we'll put that through like that. And through that side. And one more time. And this one again gets a little bit tricky on this end. So you just want to kind of try and get all of the yarn strands here. And then on the end, I'm going to loop around the end and pop back through here to kind of pull that down a little bit still. And then I'm going to go back through again and actually go through here and then go down into the stitch below. Again, just a little bit cleaner of a look. You don't have to do this by any means. It just seems a little nicer presentation wise to me. It looks a little bit cleaner. Nobody's probably really going to notice but me, but I just find that I like this a lot better. So once we finish with that, I will show you how we're going to attach this to the bag. Almost done. All right. And we'll pop that through there. And then once again, we're going to weave these ends in. Just going to put them through this row of stitches. If I can pull my needle through. All right. Okay, don't pull too tight because you'll give yourself a little weird thing here. So just pull this out a little bit so that it looks right again. And then I'm going to twist this again because I pulled it out of my needle so that I can make sure that it's just a little bit more secure. And we'll weave that in right through there, just the other direction. Again, I like to do both directions just to make sure that it's extra secure and it's not going to come out and there's no chance of unraveling or anything like that. All right, so all of that is hidden and we can move on to the next step. So you'll see that these look a little bit more uniform than they did prior. Oh, I'm a little off camera there. Just a little bit more uniform and a little bit cleaner. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is attach these to the hooks. I'm sorry, the oh my gosh, the rings. So we're first going to take one of our plastic bag loops and we're going to attach it to a yarn needle. If it wants to go through my little loop here. So that just goes through just like the yarn would. And we're going to make sure that this is even on this side, just like this. So we just put this through here, even it up. And then the first thing I'm going to do is secure it to the ring, the rectangle ring. Okay, so we're going to do that. And then we're just going to weave this in just like we did with the yarn a few minutes ago. We just want this to be nice and secure in here. There's no chance that it's going to come off. Show you this way. I'm just putting this through the different stitches and I'm just weaving it in and out because I want it secured to that ring. I don't want it to be slipping when it's on the bag under here. I want it to be nice and secure so that it's a nice strong hold for anything that someone might be carrying in the bag. All right, and we're just going to go back again, once again, just making sure that this is super secure. We want everything to be good. We don't want anybody breaking anything or losing their bag or anything like that. We want to make sure that this is just really a really nice bag for an upcycle bag made of grocery bags that's going to be very strong and used forever. Okay, so just like that, this is nice and secure. It just looks like this. And then these two are going to be secured on either side of the bag once we get to that point. So now that we have that, we can just weave this in like we did with the other, very securely so that it doesn't come out. And we'll go both directions again, like usual. I'll pull this through here, and then I'll just go down to the next one here and pull that through there and cut off the extra. Okay, and I'm going to pause here for you so that I can do the other side, and I'll be right back. All right, so I have both of these attached here, and now I'm going to show you how to attach them to this bag. So I have actually a little paper clip right here marking where my first stitch was on this bag, and we're going to find out where we should put the straps. So inside the bag, if you look at the bottom, you can actually kind of see the rectangle. It may be just me. I can see the rectangle, probably because I made it, but maybe the bottom actually would be a little bit easier for you to see the rectangle as it is. So that kind of helps a little bit with how to find the sides where you're going to want to put your strap. And it's 5 stitches wide, so we'll find that we'll figure out how to do that. There's probably more precise ways to accomplish this, but what I usually do is kind of pull the bag this way and then give myself kind of a starting point. Oh, there they are, stitch markers. So this appears to be kind of the straight corner when I pull my bag this way, so that I can give myself probably 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I'm going to give myself 12 stitches. Is that right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Yes. Okay. So that's a stitch marker at 1 and a stitch marker at 12. So from this side, I'm going to do the same thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So I know I have the same amount of stitches between these two. I also know that they're probably not quite centered. So what I'm going to do is count the stitches between these two and then make my adjustments from there. So there are, between these two, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, and 41. All right, and on this side, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, and 37. So I know that I have more stitches between these two than I have these two. So what I'm going to do is move these a couple stitches over and make them a little bit closer. And I'm just going to make adjustments from there so that I can find where 5 stitches here and 5 stitches here are directly across from each other. So I have 38 there, and I have 40 here. So I moved that one too many, but it's pretty close. So I'm just going to move these two over, and then I know that the 5 in the middle of these are going to be directly across from each other. And that's perfect. So that's where we're going to put our straps. So we're going to start with this side. Actually, put that one over there because my longer one's on the outside. Oh. Okay. So with this, we're going to put this kind of overlapping so that both sides are adding to the strength of this strap. So we are going to add a little bit more length to this with another one of our plastic bag loops. And then we're just going to start sewing these together. So we're going to sew through this side on the outside right here, and then through the bag and through this side on the inside, this side here. So we're going to start by putting our needle here attached. And we're going to make sure that we're in the middle of these two stitch markers and begin putting this through here so you can see maybe that my needle is coming through right here so that it's going to attach through all 3 of those layers. And we're going to come through here and come through here again. And start weaving through. So typically I will go through the bottom of these, and then I'll come through the bottom here, and then I'll go up here and kind of make a square, and then I'll go through the rows as well. I want this to be very strong. I don't want there to be any chance that this strap is going to fall off or anything like that. I want to make sure that it's going to be able to be used for a very long time. So a lot of this is by feel and not by sight. And we're just going to continue weaving through this bottom section, making sure that we go through all 3 layers, every stitch. Oh, catching something. Oh, I caught the other. There it is. Okay. And go through here again, and then I'm going to start going up the side. And as we start going up the side, I like to go around the outside. So you'll only be putting it through the bag on this side, and then through all 3 of the layers on this side, and again through here, so that it's kind of securing the layers together that way and making kind of a binding around the side. I think that helps make it a little bit more secure as well and tightens things up a little bit. All right. And if you need more added on to the length, then you'll just take your needle off and then add and then put your needle onto the fresh strand of plastic. And you'll want to do that because the needle won't go through the knot that you put in that to secure the two loops together. It would have a really hard time with that. The knots are just too thick to do that. So you want to take your needle off first and then add your length to it and then start going again. I'm going to need probably a little bit more length to do the middle. So I will add that in a moment. I don't like to have it too long to try and secure this because it just takes a long time and then it starts getting a little bit funky. You can see that pulling this through this many times kind of makes it actually makes it a little bit more thread-like. So we're going to keep doing that. And I'm going to take this off on the next one and add a little bit more length so that I can do the center, because I'm almost done going around the outside. All right, so now I will add another length here. So that I can finish this up and move on to the next side, and then we are almost done. Okay, so we're just going to finish going down this corner, and then we'll weave through the middle. Okay, we're going to come up on this row here. And just weave all the way up through the middle, making sure this is a nice and strong connection. And that strap is not going to be going anywhere. All right, now that that is almost complete, I'm going to go ahead and pause and put the last one on the other side, and then I'll be back to show you the finished product. And here is our finished bag. It's about 11 inches tall and about 5 inches wide. You'll notice that it doesn't sound crinkly or anything like that if you haven't seen a plastic bag before, or an upcycle bag as I like to call them. It is made from plastic bags. This is one of what I would call the more softer bags that I crochet these out of. So it has actually a pretty soft feel compared to what you might actually assume. I'm just going to weave this last end in, and then this will be complete, and it will be up on my Etsy page for sale very soon. Now that it has been completed. If anybody has any questions or would like to see any other tutorial videos, just reach out to me via my Facebook page, Hooked by Charlene. And this obviously, like I said, will also be on my Etsy page for sale. If you would like to purchase this bag, it is also Hooked by Charlene on Etsy. And I look forward to seeing you guys again soon. Thanks for watching.